Welcome, Taurus, to your July 2025 angel messages and reading. We're going to be diving much deeper than the all signs here for you guys. We're going to be doing some clarity, and I will be going week by week pulling a card for you. So at the very end, you can take a screenshot and know what the energy is going to be for each week. We have a lot happening in July, so it's really important that you're paying attention to the things resonating with you. So let's start right away with the Celtic cross. In the heart of your spread, Tauruses, you have the 3 of Air card. All right, we just finished the Aries video. They got this card as well. It says, great sadness, take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. This is coming in the heart of your spread, basically letting you know that it's going to be time to rest in July for Tauruses. It is going to be the beginning of retrograde season. We have several planets going retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde mid-July, July 17th. And so you're going to use this July to heal. You need to recover. You need to work on the things that have really been pulling you from the things that your heart wants. And of course, we're going to get a lot of clarity from your spiritual team. Your spiritual team is your angels, your guides, your higher self, ascended masters, and they're here to guide you through this process. But right there in the heart of your spread, Tauruses, it's time to rest and relax. Can you take a vacation? Can you take some time off from work? Can you change your work schedule so that maybe it's a 4-day week so you can have a 3-day weekend? What are some things you guys can do, Tauruses? Because I know when you set your mind to something, you do it, but you might need this extra time to recover. So this is something that's already happened for you guys, and you're being asked to give yourself the time you need to recover. All right. So let's see what's coming up in the crossing or challenge energy here for the Tauruses for July 2025. We have the Chariot card. It says an important achievement, self-discipline, willpower, public recognition. You know, this is something that is coming up in the challenge area for Tauruses. You're moving away from something. It's been hard for you to remove yourself from some kind of situation. Maybe you're removing yourself from a relationship, removing yourself from a job, removing yourself from a location that's just taking a lot of work. Some of you are moving, so it could be that you've been going through this process of finding a new place, packing up everything, and now it's time to take a break in July and relax, and you don't have to decorate the house all in 1 week. It's okay to rest, but you are moving away from something. It's just been really hard for you to remove yourself. Like I'm getting this sensation of like you have to extract yourself from a relationship or from a job or from something, and it's been hard. And one of the reasons that it's been a challenge for you too is you were really putting a lot of energy into something and you weren't getting the recognition you deserve. Because that's the challenge here too, is I feel like they're basically saying is, you know, it's been a challenge for you to say, I'm done because you're not seeing me for who I am and what I'm trying to do here. So let's see what's coming up in the energy of the subconscious for the Tauruses. Tauruses, for the subconscious energy, we have the Lovers card. Intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, good health. So coming up in the subconscious card here, it's letting you know that there is a relationship in your life that could use better health. It's going to be important that you're nurturing yourself. Some of you have recently gone through a breakup. That's the thing that is in the heart of the spread here. So for some of you, you literally did go through a breakup and you're needing that time to heal. And there's going to be someone new coming in for you when you take that time to heal, but you've had to move away from something. And of course, the breakup doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a breakup with a boss, a friend, a group of people. Maybe you're realizing, you know, hey, I wasn't really being seen for the work I was contributing to this group of people. And now I'm ready to move on. And I need to have a better relationship with my own heart, saying, hey, if I'm not going to get the public recognition I deserve, and public recognition can be, you know, your mom recognizing that, hey, you've really like done something big for yourself, right? It doesn't have to be the whole world recognizing you, but something coming up in the subconscious here is just your heart needing that recognition, Tauruses. And I think we'll get more clarity here, but it feels like maybe you haven't really admitted to yourself that you weren't being recognized by that person or that group of people, right? In the Aries reading I just finished, you know, we were talking about like the boss not recognizing you for, you know, giving you the promotion you deserve or the raise you deserve. But this could be applied to anything. It's like, be honest with yourself about the fact that you don't feel seen, right? So let's see what's coming up in the recent energy here. In the recent energy, Tauruses, we have the King of Fire card, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, charismatic, focus, 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 communicate with vision and advice from someone creative, be a leader. Yeah, so this is basically saying that you are this energy here, Taurus. Like, you have all this amazing creative energy. You really have been focusing on your amazing gifts. And that's why it's been such a challenge for you, because you're like, hey, I'm putting all this time and energy into this and I'm not being recognized for it, you know? And I'm having to just move away from this. It could be one of those things where you are in a relationship where there isn't an equal give and take. You're always the one making plans with the other person, calling and texting the other person, doing the things for them. And the energy is not being reciprocated. Can you bring better health to that, or do you need to move away from that, right? So let's see what's coming up in the present energy to get a little more clarity for Taurus in July. For Tauruses in July, we have the Wheel card for the present energy, Archangel Michael. It says a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. I love this card for the present energy here because it's basically saying that it has been hard for you to extricate yourself. I was like, am I going to be able to say that word? But that's the word I'm seeing in my third eye, extricate. It's just this masterful removal of your energy from something. And it hasn't been easy, but it's because you need this better health in your relationships, and you're going to see positive situations moving forward. You know what I'm also getting is, for some of you, there's either a work issue or a project issue that has affected your romantic or intimate relationships, right? And so by moving away from those places where you're not being seen, you are going to be bringing better health to your intimate, close relationships, okay? Not just romantic, but this could be children, siblings, whatever. This present energy is a time of positive change. So even though in the heart of your spread, you're being told in July to slow down, take a break, review and evaluate your relationships, it is actually a time of positive change, even if it doesn't feel that way right now with this 3 of Air card, right? Tauruses, I mean, that's the thing, is if you just keep focusing on what your heart wants, like you have been doing, you're going to finally see things move forward in just leaps and bounds, right? It reminds me of the time I was on a walk thinking about a project I wanted to start, and this grasshopper jumped up next to me and jumped so far and long it was keeping pace with me, and then landed. I immediately went home and looked up grasshopper, and it was like big leaps forward. And sure enough, I invested in that project. When I got home from my walk, I started working on it, and it did really help with some things I had going forward. So I'm seeing that for you. I'm seeing the grasshopper. So what does grasshopper mean for you, Tauruses? Coming up in the near future, we have the Knight of Water card, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative, falling in love, wedding proposals. Let's see if this is going to focus for me. The need to balance emotions, and, oh my gosh, an invitation to a social event. That's cool. All right. So what I'm getting for the Tauruses here is, coming up in the near future, I do feel some of your relationships are going to really improve. That is coming for you. You are going to be healing some important relationships. It might not be romantic. It might be, because you are letting go of a romantic relationship, some other relationship is going to improve. But I actually do see some of you are maybe getting engaged, or you're making long-term plans with somebody in your life. I'm also getting, for some of you, this is just that opportunity to really embrace this change in a way that makes you feel joyful, right? Instead of feeling like you're never being recognized, like you're not being seen, you are finally feeling that emotional fulfillment of being recognized. But just make sure you're not getting swept off your feet. A lot of times when I see this card here too, it's that idea of getting emotionally overwhelmed, right? And it's like, you might be really excited about something, an invitation to something, a new relationship, something. But if you get too excited, you might miss some, I don't want to say red flags, but just some intuitive cues about how to handle that energy, right? So it's kind of like just getting so overwhelmed that you immediately sign on the dotted line to buy that house, and you haven't properly had it inspected. You haven't really looked in the neighborhood to see if this is really a good fit for you. So let's see what's coming up in your personal power, Tauruses. Tauruses, for your personal power, we have the Ego card here. It says Archangel Jophael. It says a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. Now, this is not a negative card, though, because this is in your personal power. Basically, your personal power comes from identifying where you might be overly focused on material things. Taurus, you are an earth sign. You like your creature comforts. You like to know you have plenty of food in the cabinet. You have plenty of blankets so you're not cold. You can be snuggling up on the couch, right? But you know, this time of positive change where you're headed, it might also make you feel a little more vulnerable is what I'm getting here. And it might mean that you have to get out of your comfort zone, but you're being asked to ask yourself, like, what do I really need, right? What are the things I really need in order to move forward? Is it okay for me to move away from these things that are kind of holding me back? And I do feel like maybe it is just fear of investing in your heart and what your heart really wants, or investing your time and energy into something and having it turn out like this 3 of Air card here. Well, that's not what they're saying is you're going to have to be willing to say this time it will be different. So for some of you, it is a new relationship. Some of it is for you is in taking a relationship to a new level. So we're going to say, let's see, I had the pocket affirmation just left me. It dropped in and it left. I wanted to do a pocket affirmation for you guys for this personal card. I easily invest in my heart. Write that in the comment section below, Tauruses, for July. I easily invest in my heart. You're investing in what your heart wants, your time and energy. You are not trapped by your surroundings, by your relationships, by your material resources. You can manifest these things as long as you follow your heart and you don't allow yourself to get stuck, right? That's that feeling of being stuck because you're not being seen. So let's see what's coming up for your external factors here. External factors for, I knew you were going to get this card, Tauruses. We have the Dreamer card, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. So Tauruses, you are moving on for something. You're starting something new. You're on a new journey. You're leaving a job. You're leaving a relationship. You're leaving an environment behind. But it's because you weren't being seen. You weren't being recognized. It's because it was affecting your important relationships in a negative way. And you're saying, you know what? No, I'm going to put the relationships that are important to me first. And I'm going to move on and focus on the things that my heart wants to do. And I'm not going to let fear around money, time, energy stop me. I love that for the Tauruses because this is in your external factors here. This is letting you know you are all taking this leap of faith. So look around you. What are the big changes you're making? This is just validating this is all happening for you in July. So let's see what's coming up in the hopes or fears sector of your spread, and then we will clarify it and break it down week by week. We have 10 of Air. Okay, so this is the hope or fear card. It says the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change, expect things to get better, recovering from an addiction. Yeah, so this card is just letting you know that if you just expect things to be a time of positive change, right? Wheel card in the present energy. If you just expect a positive outcome, focus on that. Focus on putting your energy into the things you love. It is going to be a time of positive change. And, you know, I always love to use the example from the movie Under the Tuscan Sun, where she's given the advice from the older lady when she's heartbroken over another boy. She goes, just go work on your house and forget about it. And so she gets really creative working on her house and writing her book and all these things. And then all of a sudden the new love appears, right? So let's see what's coming in the outcome card here for the Tauruses. Your final outcome, 6 of Fire. Look at that victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition and awards. So the Aries got this card too, but this is your final outcome. We're going to get some clarity here, but this is basically saying, again, expect things to get better, right? Especially with communication, especially with moving forward. And then you are going to get the recognition you deserve, because ultimately you weren't getting the recognition. Now you're moving on from that situation and you are moving towards that recognition. Just don't forget that in the recent past here, we have this King of Fire card that's letting you know you got to keep focusing on that though. So as long as you're focusing on what your heart wants, you're investing in that, you are going to have the recognition you deserve. So let's do 2 cards to clarify, and then we'll go week by week here, Tauruses. Taurus, for your first clarification card, we have the night sky card here. Hope and guidance. Is that what it says? Hope and guidance. Yeah. I love that card. Basically, this card is letting you know that you're going to want to spend some time outside under the stars, thinking about the things that no longer serve you. I was telling the Aries this earlier. Tomorrow morning, very early, we have a new moon in Cancer. It's a really powerful energy. You can check out my new moon messages I did last week if you want to. Today, we have Sun conjunct Jupiter. And tomorrow, Chris Reck from Menopause Tarot will be back on my channel at 11 a.m. Central, where we're going to talk about the energy of the rest of the year. And you're being asked to go outside, sit under the stars and contemplate in July. All right. So you are moving on from something, but you're going to be getting a lot of downloads. Okay. And so when they talk about in July that you need to rest and recover, take that time to breathe. Like something's been really hard for you to move away from. You need to rest and recover and spend that time staring up into the sky and getting those downloads that are available to you. So let's see what's coming up in your second clarification card, and then we'll move on to the week by week. We have the, I had it upside down there for a second. I don't take reversals, in case you're wondering. We have the Hawk and the Thistle card. So again, a card of looking up into the sky, right? You're going to be getting these messages. When you get these together, if you spend some time, more time looking up instead of focusing down on the things in your environment, you're going to get this guidance, all right? So this is clarifying the fact that if you feel trapped with your material resources, like you don't have enough money, you don't have enough time, you don't have enough energy or support, go higher. Look up into the sky. Get these messages. Some of you are going to literally be getting messages through hawks. Some of you are going to be getting messages through dreams. Some of you are going to be getting messages from just looking into the sky and seeing a shooting star. So there's a lot of guidance for you available when you look up, right? Again, I'm getting that feeling like, don't look down and go, I only have this and I only have that. We want to go higher with the thoughts about that. Focus on the things that get you excited. That's what's attracting the things that you want in your life, especially when it comes to your relationships and being seen for your light. You have so much to share with the world, Tauruses. So keep looking up, look higher, go higher with your thoughts. Expect things to turn out the way you want, and there will be so much emotional fulfillment for you. So let's move over to your week by week energy here. Just a quick reminder, if these messages resonate with you, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and share this video with anybody that you think it might resonate with. Also, if you would like to, you can sign up for my free newsletter at devondoer.com to get my gift for you, my ebook, Is It a Sign? How to Recognize Signs and Discover Their Meaning. It'll help you interpret messages and signs from your spiritual team. And let's go into your week by week here. So yes, and if you haven't already and you would like these messages resonate, if you hit that subscribe button too, that'd be great. Love connecting with you that way. Yeah, my free newsletter, I always keep you posted on events coming up, like Chris Reck will be back tomorrow. This marathon that we're doing today, my first time doing a marathon like this. All right, let's see what's coming up in the week by week so that you can take a screenshot and kind of have an understanding of what's coming up. So for the very first week of July, we have the Four of Air card, meditation, recuperation, contemplation. All right. Well, you guys are doing your homework. You're doing the things you're being asked to do by your spiritual team here. Remember what we had in the very heart of your spread was the Three of Air. So this is you moving on. This is you saying, hey, I'm going to take the break I need. I'm going to heal from this. I'm going to recover from this, right? And you deserve to do that, Tauruses. So what can you do the first week of July? Here in the U.S., we have the Independence Day, 4th of July. So a lot of people get a 3-day weekend with that energy, or they take off a few days around that. Take some time off this first week if you can, or at least try to lighten your workload, because this is a really positive energy for you guys, Tauruses, in first week. All right, let's see what's happening the second week of July for the Tauruses. We have the Emperor card, organization, leadership, structure. Let me get this on the screen so you can see it. I did this for the first time with the Aries, and I don't think everybody could see the weak part. Yeah, so basically, you are going to take this time to rest and recover. You're going to get some huge downloads the first week of July. Remember, we have Uranus moving into Gemini. So that's going to bring all kinds of new ways of looking at things, new perspectives. Uranus is the planet of expect the unexpected, innovation, change, and then it's in Gemini. So we're looking at things differently. It's going to be a lot about our thoughts. It's going to be a really positive energy as long as we go higher with our thoughts. I did a whole live this past Sunday about going higher with your thoughts, and it's so important that we're all doing that right now. But you're going to want to get really organized week 2, all right? So take a break, take some time off, but start organizing your projects, your thoughts, the things you want to do. Be disciplined about where you're going. Don't drop the ball. Don't just throw the whole towel in the whole month of July. There is something that you need to be doing. Even though it's a month of recovery and rest and retrogrades, just use that time to get organized. I actually find that Mercury retrograde can be a great time to get organized, right? You go into that junk drawer and you remove RE, you reorganize RE, you get rid of all the things that are no longer serving you, and you find things you didn't even know were in there, right? So let's see what's happening for week 3 for the Tauruses. We have the 6 of Air card, relief, hope, moving on. I feel like by the time you get to week 3, Tauruses in July, you are going to feel that sense of relief. Like I'm literally feeling the need to go, because basically you're still removing yourself from something, even though you're choosing to leave something behind, a job, a relationship, whatever. By the time you get to week 3, you're going to feel that actual relief. Have you ever like worked yourself up to the point that you had to do something that then when it's over, like I think of final seasons in high school and college where you work so hard and you study so hard and then you take the exam and then it's kind of like it's over and it's like, I'm so ramped up from this energy, I can't even be happy that it's summer or that the semester is over. You're going to finally feel the results of you moving on from something. You're going to finally be like, breath of fresh air. I'm so glad I extracted myself from that situation. So let's see what's coming up for week 4 for the Tauruses. Queen of Fire, intelligent, exuberant, determined. This is awesome, Tauruses. So you're going to, like, by getting organized week 2, well, by spending the time to relax and rest week 1, getting organized week 2, and then I'm going to show you here on the screen here, and then feeling that sigh of relief week 3, you're going to be so ramped up. You're going to be so ready to invest. Like you think you've invested now, week 4, you're going to be like, come on, I'm ready to go. And we do move into Leo fire season, fire sign Leo season in the end of July too. So it could be a really great time to start investing in those energies. Just keep in mind, we do have retrograde energy. Doesn't mean you can't start things. You just want to take your time. You want to be organized. And let's go with your final week card here, Tauruses, and then I'll organize it so you can actually take a screenshot and you'll know. We have the Chariot card. Look again, that was your challenge card. Willpower, victory, recognition. So this is actually super, super positive here. Basically, by the time you get to the end of July, it's like what you've been dealing with in really the first half of 2025, it's in the background. You're not looking in the rearview mirror. You're not looking back. You're not answering those texts from your ex that decided to call you during Mercury retrograde. How many of you have gotten texts or DMs from an ex during a retrograde season? Very, very common thing. You're not even looking in the rearview mirror, okay? You're so done. You have moved on. You are on your way. This is an absolutely amazing spread for the Tauruses. Let me switch it over one more time so you can make sure you see it all there. I will be back in just a few minutes for the Geminis doing this live stream. Thank you all for being here. And don't forget, tomorrow, Chris Reck from Minnow Pontero, the rest of 2025 right here on my channel, 11 a.m. Central. See you guys soon.